Carbon versus titanium. The truth most cyclists won't admit: a frame snapped in a parking lot.
No crash.
No impact. Just 5 years of sun, stress, and silence. Carbon fiber is in nearly every bike sold today. Titanium is in almost none. If you ride carbon, your frame has an invisible expiration date. Most riders never hear about it until it's too late. The numbers say carbon won this debate decades ago. The truth is more complicated, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why titanium never disappeared. Carbon or titanium? Drop one word below. Titanium showed up in cycling almost by accident. In the late 1970s, aerospace factories in the Soviet Union and United States had surplus titanium tubing, left over from fighter jets and submarines. A handful of frame builders got their hands on it. They welded it into bike frames nobody had asked for. It didn't corrode. It didn't fatigue like steel. Riders who tried it never wanted to go back. Carbon arrived differently. Formula One teams used carbon fiber in the 1980s for one reason: weight. Cycling noticed. By the 1990s, carbon manufacturing costs dropped enough for bike companies to experiment. Early carbon frames were stiff, light, and occasionally terrifying. Some failed without warning. Manufacturers kept refining it anyway. The payoff was too big to ignore. Two substances. Two completely different paths into cycling. One came from people solving a transport problem. The other came from people chasing a number on a scale. If you want the part where this gets uncomfortable, the part about what happens when these materials actually fail, subscribe now, because that's exactly where we are headed. Because here's what nobody puts in the spec sheet: both materials have a breaking point, and only one of them gives you a warning before it gets there. By the early 2000s, carbon's failure mode became impossible to ignore. A small impact, a curb, a dropped bike, a tight bike rack, could crack carbon fibers internally, with zero visible damage on the surface. It looked fine from the outside. It wasn't. Titanium failed differently. It dented. It bent. It gave riders a visible warning long before anything catastrophic happened. One material hid its damage completely. The other couldn't hide anything at all. Carbon manufacturers responded fast, because they had to. Crash replacement programs appeared everywhere, quietly acknowledging a problem nobody wanted to name directly. Ultrasonic scanning became a real service offered at high-end shops, just to check what eyes couldn't see. Titanium needed none of that. Its durability became its entire pitch, frames marketed as something you'd own for 30 years, sometimes passed down like a tool. Both responses worked. Both also revealed something. One industry built tools to manage a hidden risk. The other built a brand around never having one. That difference explains more about pricing, marketing, and why carbon still dominates than any spec sheet ever could, and that's exactly where this goes next. A titanium frame that lasts 30 years is a problem for a bike company. One sale. No repeat customer. No upgrade cycle. Carbon solved that without anyone announcing it. New layups, new shapes, marginal weight savings. A new best frame ever arrives almost every year. Riders chasing performance follow along, often before their old frame has any real reason to retire. This isn't a conspiracy. It's simply how the incentives line up. Carbon companies profit from frequent replacement. Titanium companies profit from trust built over decades, sold to a smaller, more patient customer. Neither one is lying to you. But only one of them benefits from you forgetting your old bike still works. So which is actually better? Wrong question. Carbon makes sense if performance and weight matter more than longevity, and if upgrading every few years fits how you ride. Titanium makes sense if you want one frame, built once, lasting longer than most cycling trends. The best material was never the point. The real question is which company's business model you're comfortable funding, one built on you coming back, or one built on you never needing to.